Is that back? Yeah, weird. It didn't tell me. Yeah, I said that there was an error. It said there was an error in coding, and I had to click OK and then manually restart it. I wonder if it's that problem of Unity using up so much GPU again. Me. I'm just trying to see if I can change a setting in zoom text that would make it use even less. Alright. I'm dead, you don't have to keep chewing on me. Great. Jackass zombies. Yeah. Unity munched. The dietitian's recommendation? Yeah, like 100% GPU. Oh, I see. So going back to the Unity munch. Programming or shortcoming of my computer or what exactly? It seems like some Unity games do it more than others. I need to keep my eyes out for health packs. Yes, fight amongst yourselves, gentlemen. And then whoever survives has the honor of getting killed by me. Yeah, lucky zombies. It was a great honor to be shot down, as opposed to gutted by night. Any health here? Oughter be. First affiliate zombie kills. And first affiliate stream crash. The knights are working together with the dinos. Yeah, raptors. Pulled from their own past. Angry for flesh. Yeah, that's better. If we don't talk about it, did it really happen? It applies for a lot of things. Yeah. It's like everybody from lots of time periods comes to play. Well, at least a couple. Exactly. Did what happen? And the answer is no, because nothing is the what. Everything is fine as we pass through the flames. Oh, right. forgot about the rest. I was wondering that too. But, you know, it's some void and artifacts that are doing this, so maybe they're just your generic unholy zombies. Oh, I think we're pretty close to the end. I'll give it another go or two. But I swear that the knights are encased in that thick armor. Take so many fewer bullets than the zombies. With nothing but bare flesh, and rotting flesh at that. Yeah, I mean, a sword to the torso. It was more saying, who would have thought that they could take that many bullets? Yeah, they're from whatever time they want to be from. Pick your own time. It was a similar premise to Time Slaughter, so... Time is out of joint. Oh, cursed spite that it got splattered, and it's gotta be swept up, or mopped up. Sometimes you die from an errant bullet hitting a weapon, and then you're taking time to switch weapons. Well, thanks. Do randomly quote snippets of something, or, you know, take it into a completely different context. But hey, it's suitable, you know. It's all about things from the past. Getting mixed up. A little Shakespeare fell into the mix too. He's from the past. I do tend to randomly do that. Quote things. Viewers crave poetry, and I'm happy to oblige on occasion. Three mice. I like that hairball. Did you make that up? The clock struck one, and the other two got away. Goodness, some of these zombies carry guns. And the knives. Oh. Got it for your brother a long time ago. I'm not familiar either. I think it's literally, we touched an, like, artifact and monsters started coming out, so we have to kill them. And things from different eras in time. Yeah, they really don't tell you too much. Maybe they figured, oh well, we'll expand on it when we release the next 2 episodes. And I'm waiting. Oh, still? Oh, thanks. No, I probably shouldn't change it within the game. Hold on, can we? Oh well. After this playthrough, I'll try going back to the main menu and taking down the audio a little bit there. Yeah. That's one of those really advanced features. All the games can manage. You gotta plan your shots carefully. While we're at it, just decrease the graphics a little more. Because my computer is like making fan noises at me. There we go. That's a good question, Karen. Are they zombie knights or not? I mean, they're fighting with the zombies, so maybe they're just normal knights. They're like, oh look, we don't know where we are. Guess we'll kill everything. The smell, like rotting flesh. Well, they like rotting flesh. It actually is rotting flesh. Flesh. What on earth am I? I think I'm turned up pretty close to maximum. Oh, my pleasure, TechLink. Thank you so much for coming by. I really do appreciate it, TechLink. Great having you here. And maybe I can adjust this mic up a little bit. There. That's up somewhat. And hopefully, between that and me turning the game audio down, it'll be a better level. Why do audio levels have to be so complicated? Doom 64. Nice. Seemed like a fun game. Different from normal Doom. Yeah, exactly. Tech. It drives you mad. Game's getting so choppy. I assume you guys can see that. It's lagging. No temporary invulnerability in this game. There was more of the different enemies fighting each other. Less of them fighting me. I think I got the health. Gotta be some health here soon. Realistically. Hey, Havoc. Welcome back. How's it going? I'm just hoping we can gun down all the zombies and knights from different time periods before the Unity game crashes our stream. Oh no. Oh, your cat to the emergency vet? I'm sorry to hear that. I hope the cat's okay. Had it Pickle's not been doing well for a while? Oh. And wait in here. That's not fun. Oh. But fingers crossed that she's alright. Oh. Can't keep water down. That sounds serious. Oh. Sounds like it did go well, and definitely going to try and watch the VOD tomorrow. Hey, that's good when you have a lot to say. Yeah. No. It's all part of Retro Militia's plan. I say, the more you have to say, the less they need to say. And sometimes they like to have guests that, you know, have a lot to share. Yeah, I think I'm done for. No awkward pauses, that's always good. Oh, health. I don't know if I got it. Maybe it's partly the knights seem to die quicker because they're so much easier targets to hit. This is Time Splatter, a short rail shooter that I found on Steam. It isn't bad, but is short and not yet finished. They develop it a bit more. Yeah, even though you pause periodically. I know, they really are. Ah, drats. Oh yeah, that's what it is. It only moves when it lets you. Just going. Wonder if I can decrease the graphics. Nah, I already did decrease the graphics. Esky. Oh right. If only I could back up. But no, that is not honorable. When one is advanced, one must stand there and shoot down the unarmed dead things with one's gun. Right. It's all about efficiency. Oh, does it? Just press any. Not any key, just press any. Anything. You can press the monitor. You can press a pair of trousers, and the game will restart. Augmented reality. It's loud. Why on earth did that go off this time? Freedom of the press. I like it. Oh, hey. Let me pause that. Thank you so much for the raid, Captain Peel Card. How are you doing? Everybody, please go check out Captain Peel Card. And Rio Dragoon, thank you for the follow. Welcome in, everybody. I really appreciate the raid. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Purblind Gamer. I'm a legally blind variety and retro streamer who does a lot of horror. And just recently got affiliate, so we're doing a 10-hour stream. And you see in Rio Dragoon, thank you. And hi, I'm Enamel. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, thank you, Captain Peel Card. I really appreciate that. And how did your stream go? Oh, the stream elements were failing. I think it's just about another hour going Havoc. I think. Because I started late than intended, so I think it'll be just before midnight that I'll be ending. And I realize I messed up your shout out. Probably I mistyped it. But yeah, I know Dame Karen mentioned that you were legally blind too, and yeah, and then you mentioned it when I was in your chat last time, which it's nice to meet someone else who's legally blind and using Twitch. And it seems like you've figured out a pretty good setup, which I'm still learning and getting things like, well, the text-to-speech mostly works. But, oh, and you were playing more decks. Nice. What I've seen of it, it looked pretty fun. Oh, you finished it. Oh, congrats. That's awesome. Yeah. So that's basically what we're doing tonight is the 10-hour stream, and right now we're just playing this little rail shooter I found on Steam called Splatter. It's a Unity game, and I keep worrying that it's going to overclock my GPU. Oh, another raid. Wow, thank you so much. Oh, thank you. I really appreciate it. Beauty. Hold on, let me pause my TTS a minute. Thank you so much for the raid. Riza Studios. Thank you so much. Everybody, please go check out. Is it Riza Studios? That's how my text-to-speech is pronouncing it. Everybody, please go check out Riza Studios. Thank you. Welcome in, everybody. For those of you who don't know me, I'm a legally blind variety and retro streamer with a focus on horror, and I play a lot of random games. And tonight we're celebrating, I just got an affiliate, and so we're doing a longer stream. Okay, so Breeze, so that is right. Yeah, it's wonderful we have so many raiders. I really appreciate it too, guys. Oh, playing Subnautica. Oh, thanks for the congratulations. I appreciate it. Yeah, it sounds like Subnautica's a fun game, which I've visually confusing, but I've watched a couple people play it. Are you enjoying it so far? And actually, I should. We've been doing game giveaways today, and it's actually right about time to do another one, so let me go ahead and stop that music for a moment. And oh, okay. Community game nights. Cool. And yeah, I'm at Coffee Cup Arcade too. So it's nice to meet people who, you know, friends of friends. Yeah, we've been doing game giveaways tonight, and we have a couple more to do. Oh dear, who got bopped? I need to fine-tune our moderation settings. Yeah. Probably haven't turned up too much. Anyway, so we'll do a couple game giveaways. Gets everybody's in. Oh, is that what it is? I'll have to examine the automod more thoroughly. So you guys ever notice like how gigantic and impractical CD-ROMs are? Well, I have the solution. Games on mini CD-ROMs, like G-Talk. G-Talk the Defender? G-Talk. Anyway, I'm thinking of a number between 1 and 100. Go ahead and guess. And just figured that's the easiest way to do game giveaways without having to learn additional programming. Yeah, it does kind of look like a cassette tape. Vaguely the same shape. And I should remind everybody that purblindgamer.llc is not responsible if these games break your system. A 69. Someone always guesses that. Which they shouldn't actually break your system, but if you have one of those CD-ROM types that has it's just a slot rather than a tray, it won't work with mini CD-ROMs. So, yeah, found that out when my baby sister decided to try and set up a MP3 player and slid a mini CD-ROM into the side of my mother's laptop. The computer could not handle that. But yeah, floppy disks. As a retro gamer, I do like floppy disks. Actually, had a giveaway earlier where we gave away a game on 5.25-inch floppy. Don't see too many of those anymore, even in the thrift shops. So we'll give Anybody's welcome to guess. We'll give it another 15 seconds. I know nothing about these games. Oh, but sometimes that's the fun, discovering games you wouldn't normally know. Through a disc. Well, I'm glad the disc missed you. No, I think we did eventually get it out a couple years later. It was a crappy old laptop anyway. Like, cheap iMac from work. Oh. Oh. Nice, thank you, Nervous Nelly. Oh, your W key isn't working. I hope you get all those repaired, Haggard. So, it's G-Talk, and the number is 16. No, 61. Excuse me, 61. I can read things. Yes, let's see. I have to scroll back up and check the numbers. Hit you twice. So I believe Breeza Studios won. Or no, sorry, if it was 61, then you're right, I think Captain Peel Card won. I'm double checking. Yep, this is, once again, the number 69 wins a game. This is an alarming pattern that keeps popping up in my channel. Yes. Oh, congratulations, Captain Peel Card. Let me make a note of that, and I'll try and get these games in the mail soon. '69 seems to be have an unnatural luck to it. And we'll do one more. Oh yeah, you're welcome, Captain Peelcard. Rigged, always has been. No, not rigged. Just, if only a few people guess, and it's basically guaranteed somebody will guess that number. Right, because it keeps winning. It becomes a vicious cycle. But people always say to me, David, you pusillanimous persimmon, why do you keep giving away PC games? Are you one of those elitist snobs who doesn't like Macintoshes? And I'm like, well, yes. Steve Jobs is. Well, he's dead, can't speak ill of the dead. But since I have been giving away a lot of PC games, we'll give away a Mac game, Depths of Peril, which is, according to the back, it's a blank white CD sleeve. That doesn't tell us much about the game, but I think it's an action RPG from the mid-2000s. Thinking of a number between 1 and 100. Mac lovers are the elitists? I kind of thought so, but they say that the PC gamers are the elitists. Sometimes. Or sometimes they just say they're the rabble. One of these days we'll get this all sorted out and determine which one is truly superior. And it'll probably be Linux swooping in to steal it. For science. But yes, you can donate it if you win, Dame Karen, unless you want it. Might be a fun game. I haven't played it. And it'll work on Windows and Mac. I didn't know they were still doing those dual boots. Is that what it's called? But like both operating systems CDs and DVDs as late as, I think, the late 2000s. So all you people with PCs can enter as well. Ah, somebody with a Mac who will love it if they don't have it. I try to play a mix of modern and retro games, but I tend to do more of the retro, partly because I'm more familiar with them, and sometimes they're easier. Although we were playing Pac-Man 2, The New Adventures, and that was quite frustrating. Some parts of it. It's an interesting sort of puzzle game for the Sega Genesis. I'll go ahead and give everybody another 10 seconds to get your guesses in. That's true. If you don't directly control the protagonist, do you actually play the game? I mean, I would say so. Even if you're just sort of guiding him, because you play Lemmings and you don't directly control them, or I guess you did sometimes. I don't know, I never played Lemmings, but it looked impossible. Okay. Depths of Peril, and the number is 32. Ideally, playing includes fun. And I believe Haggard Hessian? Yeah, I believe Hessian was the closest. Or, yeah, 42. So congratulations. You win Depths of Peril. I'll go ahead and note that. And then we'll jump back into Time Splatter. Give it another couple tries. Oh, thank you so much for the follow, Nervous Nelly. I appreciate it. It's interesting spelling of nervous. It reminds me of that singer Nervous Norvis, who did that song about the transfusion. And if I don't get through this in the next couple times, I'll probably give up. Because I'm worried about it overclocking. Why are we not getting a sound? Oh, because I turned the sound off. That could be why. Oh, thank you for the host. I really appreciate it. Damn, Karen. Or because you splatter things that came through time. I like rail shooters. And I wouldn't say this is a great one, but it's kind of interesting. Remind you of your ex. Your ex-wife. Thought it was your ex-life? Splatter gore. But there is no W in life, so I don't know what the problem is. And I swear, this lag is getting worse. Oh, actually, it works both ways. slashed me at the last minute. Here we go. Oh, it's fun. Fun trying to piece together what it is without the W. And thank you guys so much for the raids. I really do appreciate it. It's been great to meet all you new people. Oh, no worries, Hessian. That sounds more comfortable. The knight is like, "You've just helped me kill my enemies. In return, I shall kill you." Yeah, I agree, Nervous Nelly. It's a nice thing about raids is you meet people and discover fun streams you wouldn't otherwise. Yeah. And I'm sometimes shy too, both on Twitch and in real life. Like oftentimes I'll just come and lurk somewhere. Miss one health pack in this game and you're pretty much done for. Haggard has gone orc? Oh wow, another raid. Oh, thank you so much. Hold on. Welcome in, raiders. And hey, Cobra Commander. I didn't know you were streaming tonight. That's great. How did your stream go? Welcome in, everybody. And oh, thank you, and thank you so much for the follow. I didn't see. And oh, T Futak. Oh, thank you. Thank you for coming in and for following. And thank you for following Neon Arcade also. Everybody, please go check out Cobra Commander. He has a really fun stream. Does a lot of retro games. And like I know you finally finished Chrono Trigger, didn't you? Or were you still playing it? I know that's a long game. Ah yes, retro. My category of choice also. But yeah, Raiders, I stream a combination of retro games and random games, and especially like horror games. And I just recently made affiliate, so we're kind of celebrating that tonight. But oh, work on Breath of Fire. Right, I'd seen you playing that too. Ah, Ashen, I see you've gotten your double key working again. Oh right, you switched to a different computer. But thank you for coming in and bringing all your friends with you. It's great to have you guys here. Right now we're playing a rail shooter I found on stream called Time Splatter. And it is lagging something fierce. Wearing out a W key on an iPad. That would take some doing, I feel like. Depends on if we're going with the laws of what's real or what's possible. What going? Wearing out keys on the iPad? I don't know what I'm talking about either. I often don't. Also, I'm gunning down dinosaurs because... well, because they're trying to kill me. So, I mean, yeah. What else could I do? Oh, do you have keyboards you can plug into iPads? I have very little experience with those tablet things. Oh. Yeah. But, I mean, if they weren't trying to kill me, I wouldn't be gunning them down. I mean... okay, unless they were worth a lot of money. Or edible. This thing, nobody has really developed any good dinosaur recipes because, well, dinosaurs don't really exist anymore. I mean, they're not alive anymore. I mean... other than raspberries? Raspberries would make your teeth blue, I assume. If they're blue raspberries. Also blueberries. If they're blue blueberries, as opposed to red blueberries, it's only fair, as raspberries can have both. Yeah, that's me. The lag is getting worse with each round in this game. Blue abadi abada, abadi abada. I assume you mean because I make random jokes, not because the lag gets worse. But I appreciate you guys keep coming back. Yeah. Unity. Well, that's good, because I do tend to throw out a bunch of random things. So, not to respawn the bodies. Oh. Yeah, I don't know much about programming in games. But I do know this is a recurring problem in Unity. The Doom engine, less so. Just throwing that out there, developers. You can totally do a railhead shooter in the Doom engine. faucet on. I like that. There's gotta be a way to fix this. Yeah, they certainly seem to have opened the dam on this one. Oh. Thanks, it was great to meet you too, Miss Nellie. I appreciate you coming in and hanging around, and I hope you have a good night. No. Oof. I can't get past them. I'll try it one more time. Yeah. Can't stop spawning, won't stop spawning. And I don't remember what the ending is, but I can't think it's much more in-depth than the beginning. Good thing all the guns have flashlights on them. Oh, thank you so much for the follow. That's slow showing who's follows. Funny that sometimes the alerts play and sometimes it shows up in chat. Okay. I said I would do it one more time, and I think that's probably a good time to stop. Because I do worry about it crashing my computer or something, the way it was going so slow. Let me see, what else did I have? Right, they don't stop coming, and they don't stop coming. That's zombies for you. Oh, right. That was one thing I was going to do. And I realized we had... Do you guys know, are we allowed to just show videos on Twitch? Because I had found there was a special feature that involved a video on a game we'd beaten recently, and I was thinking of showing that. I wouldn't think Twitch has any. Oh, okay. There was one game we played recently which I really enjoyed was Sam and Max Season 1, aka Sam and Max Save the World. Hopefully it won't. And then I was going to uninstall it from my computer the other day, and I realized since I have wouldn't think I would get a copyright strike, and I think there's not much chance it has copyrighted music. But, since I had the DVD-ROM version, it had a couple of special features, including a behind-the-scenes video about the Sam & Max series and its origins. I thought since we played through, well, both the games, it would be fun to watch that. And it's just like 10 minutes long. I figure I'll show that. And then maybe play one more game and then call it a night. There we are. Yeah, I'd heard about that. Like, even the DJ streams getting muted, or at least the VODs. Ah, there it is. How many hours? I think it's gonna be getting close to 9.5. Twitch themselves got muted. They muted themselves. Alright, I can turn my microphone down a little bit now that we're not having that terribly loud gunfire in that game. That should be a slightly more reasonable level. That is pretty amazing that
Characters date way back. I like to say they date from the dawn of the disco era, because my brother and I were kids and we'd make our own comics on typing paper, and he would leave his unfinished comics laying around the house, and he was the one that actually first did characters called Sam and Max, and they were a dog and rabbit detective, but their personalities were really different. He'd leave his unfinished comics laying around in the family room, and I'd pick them up and I'd kind of secretly finish them in a parody of his style. So they started as a parody of the comics of an 8-year-old, and that's how they started forgetting each other's names and having drawn their thumb on the wrong side of the hand on purpose, and the perspective never made sense. So it was just a way of irritating my brother, which was the dawn of these characters. It was 1978, and he wrote me this little document that said, "I don't care about these characters, you can draw them from now on." And he signed it, and I signed it, and our little scrawls are our kids' signatures, and so I've still got that weird little piece of paper, which is, I'm sure, not legally binding, but what the hell.
probably not.
What I do here at Telltale is I create the technology that we use to build the games and that you use to play the games. So all the tools that we use to create every episode of the game,
It is
me and my team make, and then the actual program that you run when you're playing the game is also from my team. What's neat about the Telltale engine is it allows us to make really story-based games.
That's the guys from Air Force One. Tell them they get the keys back once they say the magic word.
Quiet, Max.
Oh,
it's
yes.
the commissioner. Total collapse of the economy and downfall of Western civilization? Great grinning head of John the Baptist in a pork pie hat stuffed in a rhinestone
43
bowling bag.
syllables.
We're on our way.
If you haven't
They have
played
a lot of
Sam &
character
Max
and a lot of
Cobra Command, I
dialogue and a lot of
highly recommend
animation.
it.
And it's like an
We had a lot
interactive
of fun
cartoon
with
from
it.
beginning to end. And it's all in 3D, which is great. And they make it really fast and iterate a lot. So it really allows the artists and the writers to really craft the game before we finish it and ship it out.
We started the company in order to build out games based on great character and story. A good percentage of people come from LucasArts. That's where I started my career, and we were there to work on some of the great story products that they were doing. Anyone that was into games for a long time knows that the early games at LucasArts had a special feeling around
Oh,
them,
you like Sam and
comedy
Max
and,
too.
and attention to detail around story. So we built a
gonna play
company
the
that was
future,
able to
other Sam and Max games
tell
eventually.
interactive stories. And what we've done is gone after licenses that we know have a charm and an integrity that stand the test of time, and it's more than just blowing stuff up and or driving around, but it's a more something people can connect with and more people can connect with. It's a good direction
Well,
for
there is
games
some
to go.
blowing stuff up and driving around in Sam and
Well,
Max.
for the duration of season 1, I was really excited throughout the entire project about Sam Max. I never lost the drive to keep
Telltale
making
made
it
a
great. I love
CSI
those
game?
characters. I love the kinds of adventures they get into. For me, Sam Max is very fulfilling because they can go in completely different directions every episode. They can always try new things.
Nuclear reactors are nearing meltdown.
And scores of pasty white nerds will be forced to go outdoors and socialize with normal people.
They can always try new things, and that's something that really appeals to me. I don't want to get stuck in a rut ever or keep doing the same thing.
Swiss cheese, right? And be quick about it.
Ordinarily, I hate yielding to extortion, but I have to admit I'm half charmed by the sheer spunk of that oily little fur. Where'd you put the cheese, Max?
I knew there
So
were CSI
that
games,
aspect of
but
Sam Max makes me want to just
didn't know
keep
they
coming
were-
up with new
they were
adventures,
Telltale
keep
ones.
coming up with crazier things that they can do, and just keep challenging myself to think of things that hasn't been done before.
Like to
But off
develop a gambling
socializing as
addiction,
much as
starting
possible.
now.
Well, what do we have here? I'd say the circus was in town. But I know for a fact they won't
Oh,
be here till
Leonard.
next Friday. So you must be here to play cards.
I'm a person with a fairly short attention span as these things go, I think.
You know I have the memory of a dried trout.
Sadly, yes, I do.
Working on one game for, a year or 2 years or 5 years or whatever people in the industry do is kind of scary to me, which is one reason why working episodically is actually really good, because every episode of Sam and Max is kind of different from the last one. We do them in a few months and then we move on to something else, and there just isn't time to get bored.
You ever consider that we might be card sharks? Or shark sharks? You know, the kind that eat people for being overconfident?
My responsibilities here at Telltale are, overseeing the entire art production for Sam and Max, and constantly in discussions and brainstorms and director sessions with the environment artists. I'm pretty much in control of working with Steve Purcell and getting the character concepts going and overseeing the modeling and the animation process for these
Oh, thank you
characters.
so much, Cobra
I
Commander.
work with the designers to
I really
kind of
appreciate
mock up
it.
a roadmap
I hope you have a
for
good
the
night.
entire game. So
Thanks so
with
much
the
for
environment process,
coming in
I
and
guess
for
it all
rating.
starts in the designers' heads. So obviously they have certain locations in mind. When they start to design the puzzles, obviously they're going to need certain
Thanks.
objects.
I think we
placement
will,
of
and we'll
objects in certain
Be
places in
wrapping up within the
environments.
hour.
It's a little bit unique here because we kind of have to get things done really quickly. Obviously need a really good concept, think everything through. How much space do Sam and Max need to walk around in this environment? And get that all on the drawing. What usually happens is I'll do a couple drawings, and then
True.
Steve's drawings come in a couple days later, and I just do
All
mine
been
out
spending
because his
A lot of time indoors this past
Either
year.
that, or I'll use what he did, and I'll kind of build off that for what we need.
I went through and
Game
played
has some
the
great
original
music.
game. I actually hadn't played it all the way through before, and I knew some of the music. It was written by my old colleague. Originally, they were talking about it being a little bit darker, a little bit skewed for a slightly older audience, and maybe a little bit less cartoonish. So, to me, that translated into a little bit more of a
pasty,
hard jazz
the
score.
degrees of palitude.
Fortunately, the scope of the project was large enough that we were able to afford hiring some live players to come in and add their talents to the score. And that, the score is as much, I share the credit for it with them, because they brought so much to those sessions. And it's amazing what 3 guys can do to bring a score like this to life.
Got melanin.
I'm a little bit torn about what my favorite episodes are. For me, the first time I saw the new version of Sam and Max's car, the DeSoto, driving down the street, I was so pleased, because I had talked to Dave Bogan, the art director, about redesigning the car, and I had found a picture of a DeSoto online of 1960, and I'd drawn on top of it on a Wacom tablet and done a new kind of a wrap-around design for it.
Not fun.
And when I saw the model of the car they built, I was so pleased, and getting to see it for the first time driving down Sam and Max's street was really exciting for me. And my next favorite episode,
Not much, son.
Abe Lincoln Must Die, because it was just, for me, the absurdity of getting to hunt Abe Lincoln's statue from the Lincoln Memorial is about as Sam Max as you could get.
Oh yeah.
The results from the emergency election are coming in. And it appears that former sitcom star Max has been elected President of the United States. In an unprecedented show of bipartisan solidarity, all of the country's political parties have desperately asked for a recount.
You've got to be me, you idiot.
The level of absurdity that you want to see in a Sam Max episode.
Democracy? I'll make you all my hypnotic slaves.
Great to get a chance to work with Telltale.
Such a fun game.
On the Sam Max series.
Oh, you really know how to find the bright side of everything, don't you?
Yes, I do. Now let's go shoot something.
I wish I'd discovered this back when we were actually finishing the game. Well, so I'm glad we got yeah, Dave Karen, that's quite different from what you would expect, but the series thrives on destroying our expectations in every way possible. In a slightly better way than Pac-Man, too. Oh yeah, you're welcome. 2007. Yeah, I like watching those kind of behind-the-scenes things sometimes, and it's nice that you had that. Oh, Seraphins, thank you so much for the sub. I really appreciate it. Everybody, please go check out Seraphins. He's a really great guy, has such a fun stream, is really supportive of others, and beat super ghouls and ghosts. That's not something everybody can pull off. Oh, thanks so much. No, I really appreciate it, and thanks for coming in to lurk. It's always great to see you. Everybody, please go check out his stream. Probably. I mean, we're getting close to the end. I was thinking I'll just do one more game, and I was initially thinking I would do another episode of Ben Jordan, but it's getting late, and that might last longer. You know how adventure games are. We probably will play the future episodes on stream at some point. You know, I like horror. Instead, I was thinking we can play more levels of Alien Cabal. That's fun. Haha, no, just kidding. How about a good arcade game? Right. See, bend your games that can. You know, if you get stumped, a short game. Oh yeah. And I hope you guys enjoy the first badges and the emotes, and I really do appreciate the subs. So, oh, right, I should change the title. This game is a classic run and gun. It was ported to both the Genesis and the SNES, but the arcade version is still the tops. And it's a good mix of action and humor. All dressed up in ghostly sheets. A good way to dress up. And yes, Sunset Riders by Konami. Basically a Western in video game form. And make sure I have. Is it opening? Ah, there it is. I was thinking about it. I wish I could play this on original hardware. Such a cool opening. Yeah, it's got good music. It is an animated intro. Just about everybody here needs a haircut. They almost look like me. You can't see it on screen. Well, that's thoroughly bizarre. Because I used... Oh god, right, that. Oh. Thanks for telling me. That's strange, because this was the same program I was using. Same program I was using last Saturday. Try one thing, and if this doesn't work, we'll play something else. I would learn to at least have a couple of backups. Oh yeah. I'll think up more channel points, redemptions. That one was mostly just a... I don't know, I probably would do that kind of stream. I thought I could get away with it. Really? Oh, nice. I'm trying to add a new scene. Okay, here's an idea. What if... Thanks, I realized what that is now. If I just change it... Ah yes, unfortunately due to legalities. Oh, because the other thing came over top of it. That's got to be what it was. Aha, success. Yes. My friend OBS can be frightfully particular about the smallest things. Oh, I didn't have the winners don't use drugs thing show up. But this is the intro that I was referring to earlier. Alright, it's a 4-player machine. Can't really choose which character. So we'll play as Steve. Simon Greedwell. Yeah, me too. I think this game has a good aesthetic. Yeah, they all have such long hair. Mullets? Yeah, true. It does seem a little modern. Oh, squashed him flat. There's one thing I know when they ported it, they had to have the barflies who give your character a hug have a little more clothing on, because, you know, console sensibilities. Also, I don't think they have you drinking. Yes, that's right. The friendly barfly gave us a hug and gave us a gun or a pile of gold. Also, we got a bonus by drinking alcohol. You can imagine how well that would go with both parents. Chickens. What could it mean? Cows. It means cows. Stampede. Yeah. Yeah. At least the dynamite gives you a warning. Doesn't the lady who throws the dynamite also blow you a kiss before you die? Or wave at you? Yeah. Play with dynamite, get blown to smithereens. She was trying to blow us up. Only the ones who throw the dynamite are ladies, as far as I can tell.
Kind of pain.
You would say that, Simon Greedwell, wouldn't you? Oh yeah, you played it before? It's great. I used to rent the Genesis port a few times, and I've played the arcade one in a couple arcades. I guess the NES, the Super NES port's better, but the Genesis port is much inferior. Really, the ladies are wearing dresses. I didn't know this, or skirts. Even in the Wild West.
Marry me with my money.
Bury me with my money. I think that was a meme at some point. No pants or skirts. Oh, you got the SNES one. At least that one keeps all the levels and most of the dialogue. I don't know what they were doing with the Genesis one. Okay, I think those are the only lady enemies. For the most part, the horses don't get hurt. They just rear up as the riders get shot. Yeah, it's only the second level, but it's a pretty reasonable difficulty. Those games, you know, if I practice enough, I can see myself eventually beating it on just, I'll say $1, not 50 cents. Duck while on a horse. Oh, you can somewhat. Oh, I could be a little louder. Ow, thanks. Oh. Turn the game down just a hair. Oh yeah, that's right, it's all the way up at the max. The train barely made it to the station before us, and it certainly stopped quickly.
Draw, Pilgrim.
Draw? I do not draw. What is this, an MCZ stream? I think it is a fair bit easier if you select one of the characters who has a shotgun. The spread fire. It's still Hawk. Appears to be armed. I was calling it out. I was just acknowledging that that's one of the features of her stream. I suppose that is calling someone out. Yeah. No, he's definitely armed. Nicer if he was armed with a shotgun. Was it in El Dorado? The only safe place to stand when Mississippi shoots is behind him. Mississippi used a sawed-off shotgun. Varmints. One up, Steve. Ooh, first-person shooter. We killed more than half of everybody we saw. Not bad. Dark Horse. When I first saw this in the arcade, I thought it said Dark Mouse. I really do. You can't just, expect me to do all the work by myself. And AI-controlled allies here. And once again, the Barfly is giving away free guns. Haha. Oh, thanks. Maybe she was secretly trying to help me. Why do I doubt it? What's with people not recycling today? First Pac-Man chucks the soda cans in the trash, and now Steve is just slinging glass bottles away. I mean, granted, recycling wasn't as big in the 1870s as it is now. It is cute, and it's also useful. Rustler and Thief. Oh, that sounds like the sort of place I would want to shop. He gets a ridiculously big smile. More cute and useful, I agree.
Please continue.
Since you're blind about it. Yeah, that one bandit was like, oh, here, I'm standing in an oil spill. Why don't I throw a lantern? And even when they're squashed flat, they're not actually killed, they're just sort of dazed, because you can see the stars around their head. Everybody gets shot, nobody gets killed. Why open windows when you can smash your face through them? By the Batman.
You in deep big trouble.
Yeah, everybody gets shot, nobody dies. I also realized this is the second game we've played today with unfortunate Native American stereotypes. That was not intentional. And to be fair, the other one was a robot. I don't think that makes it better. Oh, you recently beat it? Good job, Passion. And yeah, if you're playing the Super NES, you had limited continues, so it's quite impressive.
Me in deep, big trouble.
It's like an armored horse. It's pretty neat. I mean, I've heard of an iron horse.
You all right, ma'am?
Oh, those terrible men. Please help.
All right, ma'am. Don't worry about it.
Don't weary about it. The Smith Brothers. Smith Brothers Tobacco.
Blow you away. Yeah.
That was something from a Laurel and Hardy movie, I think. Oh yeah, that's that game you were telling us about in the Steam sale, right, Dave Karen? That was great you got it. I'm less worried about the guy who bombs the guy with lantern, because the bombs don't stick around as long. Right, Silver Spook. No Silver Spook. At least the can-can dancers are impervious to fire and explosions. Good for them. Myself, slightly less so. When you slide, the bullets can't hurt you, but flames sure can. Holy smokes! Oh no, that's one of the things. When they get burned up, it's a little more explicit in the arcade version. One up Steve. Coming to the stage. That was a bang. That was also a bang. It was. And now we get to watch the Can-Can Dance burlesque show. I'm guessing this was slightly toned down in the port as well.
Oh, you boys are so kind.
I will tell you a secret. A huge reward is being offered for Sir Richard Rose. But be careful, he always has his 3 sidekicks with him. El Greco. No, like Greco-Roman. Hiding in the hay. How'd they know I was coming? Yeah, this isn't the first time One Up Steve has taken a train. And I do mean taken. Chief scalp them. You think Dark Horse was bad, wait till we get to Chief scalp them. I swear, I didn't intend to stream 2 games involving Native American stereotypes. Heck, I didn't even think. Well, I guess I didn't think about, or I'd forgotten about the one in Sunset Riders until I was playing it. Ben Jordan came as a surprise. Oh yeah, he makes quite an entrance. mean, but hopefully they won't see the odds of me playing this game. I wonder if this was one of those games. I don't know. Developers probably were just like, let's draw on all the source material from Westerns and not be too, not think too carefully about it. It let me whipped, right?
Please continue.
Then would you even be watching Twitch, Hessian? Oh. Oh, thank you, Dame Karen. Those are like good recommendations.
Adios, amigo.
A suitably dramatic ending for El Greco. Yeah, even when he wasn't blocking with his shield, took quite a few hits. Oh, nice. Yes, Chief Scalp. Scalpin or Scalpin? Whatever, it's the Chief. Yeah, that was the Chief Scalpin that Hessian was talking about. It is, which I get that it's supposed to be a Western comedy, but I hope they would have, you know, be sensitive enough not to do that if this game were made today. That's true, it wouldn't be actually comical. I must say, that was one good thing about the port, at least they think in the Super Nintendo version they toned down the dialogue at least somewhat. I still call him Chief Scalpin.
Me ready for powwow.
Yeah. It is. Oh, right, because in the... If I recall correctly, the Super Nintendo port, they just made the Native American level full of normal bandits instead. It's a different tone than, you know, the other levels. You're clearly shooting only at criminals, all with bandanas over their faces.
Please continue.
Yeah, this could be one of those. You find out you were the bad guy all along at the end.
Me powwowed out.
Please, please, don't shoot my brother. He's only following orders.
All right, ma'am. We won't shoot him.
I always thought that was crazy. You won't shoot him, but you just shot him 30 times. Taco Loco. Oh, this is different from the home port too. Oh, they are not content with one stereotype. They decide to throw in another. I was thinking after I started playing this, maybe this wasn't the best choice of something to stream. Running through water was different. Yeah. You're probably right. No, that's absolutely true, damn Karen. It's like, even if you're drawing on the tradition of Western that's been like this, and you're making fun of them to some degree, you could still do better.
Please continue.
it's good that games now tend to do a little better.
Hasta la bye-bye.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think that's an important thing about all mediums is diversity among the people who make them. Will help, making games more diverse and more respectful and nuanced. Yeah, hasta la bye-bye. And Sir Richard Rose, the final boss. Oh, that's the same. Good thing there are more initiatives to try and increase diversity. Especially amongst film and TV, I don't know so much about games. The Gatling gun. Ever as prevalent as they are in real life, I mean as they are in Western fiction. Indigenous movie night. That's really cool. Yeah, I don't think I've ever been into a movie night on Steam. I mean, on stream. Oh, you're just movies from several countries. really good. I like when there are opportunities to see movies that you wouldn't necessarily see otherwise. Oh, thank you so much, Captain Fuelcard. Oh, thanks. Yeah, I mean, after we beat this boss, I think we'll wind down. But I hope you have a good night. Hasta la bye-bye. You too.
Please continue.
Oh, funny thing I remember. I was playing this as a kid on the Sega and telling my parents about it. In that one version, Sir Richard Rose throws a stick of dynamite at you when he first appears. I said, when he enters, he says, "Cheerio, old chap," and then throws dynamite at you. And my father said, "Oh, he sounds like your mother's father." And my mother said, "Excuse me, my father does not throw dynamite at people." He just meant because he said, "Cheerio, old chap." But I always thought that was hilarious. Things you would think shooting a solid block of stone with a pistol a couple dozen times would be enough to destroy it entirely. Okay, I'm definitely getting tired.
Please continue.
I put in a couple of dollars at this point. But it's a good bit less than when we played Night Slashers, for those of you who saw that. Thus dies Sir Richard Rose. What's so funny? Oh. The old armor under the shirt routine. Yeah. F him. The old fake out of, "The boss is not dead yet." Yeah. Yeah, it did look more like a mirror, especially the sound effect. I think it was supposed to be a piece of armor. It was some strategy guide from Sega Genesis games said years ago.
I say, bit of bad luck.
Very philosophical of you. Money. That's a good question. got so much gold, I don't know how we're going to carry it. Maybe he figured the armor was so riddled with bullets it was useless at that point. Still. Hey, we're rich. And we ride off into the sunset. The gigantic and curiously flickering sun. That can't be safe. And it restarts. Well, that... The sun is terrified of one-up Steve. That's why it's setting. It's trying to escape him. And that's why he's riding towards it. He will hunt down the sun, even if he has to ride for the rest of his life, chasing it against the rotation of the world. Well, that's almost the end, but I did have a couple more games to give away. So I try not to drop everything on the floor. And we'll just do these last couple giveaways and then we'll go ahead and raid somebody. I think it's been more than 10 hours and I am definitely trying not to fall asleep. It's not even that late for me. It's only midnight. That's not late. Right. So yeah, you know, I like horror games and... Oh. And I haven't given away many boxed games, so... Here's one. It is stuck. Dracula, Last Rites. Box slightly used. And you may say, but David, that game is available on Steam, and it has terrible reviews. Why would you give it away? Well, I will say, the Steam version is actually a PC version of the terrible iPad port, which had a lot of problems. But you know it didn't have problems? The original CD-ROM release. Yeah, new out of package. Plus, I believe it comes with a manual and a poster for Ironstorm, if you like that. Did anybody like Ironstorm? I don't know. But I'm thinking of a number between 1 and 100. Paper? No. I have the papers here. 66. Back to the Satan and horror motif. Yes, it is PC. And I assume not Mac. There aren't many Mac games. I mean, there are out there. And there are even some Mac exclusives, but I don't have them. Because you don't run across them as commonly in the stores, the thrift stores, and because, let's face it, PC was always the dominant platform for gaming amongst computers. Or if not always, for quite a while. Well, it is better with Steam now that so many games have Mac versions as well, and Linux versions. But I don't really know as much about Linux. I just know that people keep telling me about it and saying it poses less difficulties than Windows 10, which sounds good. Alright, give it 10 seconds, and if nobody else wants to guess, we'll go ahead and reveal the secret number. Also, a conveniently placed runabout. I get the weirdest notepads. Oh, installing Linux manually. That does sound, yeah, a little bit daunting. I'm a much bigger fan of, start it up and it installs itself, and all you have to do is say yes and no and tick a couple little settings. But yeah, nice car. So we'll go ahead and see, and the number is 92. So, congratulations, Hessian, you won with 66. And people also say to me, David, you physical fallacy, why are you always giving away games on CD-ROM? Some of us don't want those. And some of us just want Steam codes. To which I say, well, okay, I guess I could give away a Steam code for Toki Tori 2. Toki Tori 2. Yeah. And this is not, in fact, a game about Toki, the guy who got turned into a monkey that spits bullets. It's some sort of action puzzle game that looks pretty good. False cognate, Toki. But yes, guess away, between 1 and 100. Thank you, Chester Mammoth, I appreciate it. Oh, you've played it, Chester. It does look pretty good. When I got some other game cards that people were, for this stream, for giveaways, the seller threw in a couple of extras, including that. It wasn't sold, I don't know. Of course, 69. I wonder where these cards came from. They were given out as some just giveaway. Oh, two. I might have done that. I don't think I did that. I don't remember a lot of what I did the past couple of days. Yeah, sometimes, if your method of winning isn't broke, don't fix it. Otherwise your luck can't last forever. Toki Tori 2. I'm gonna look up what it's about and see if I can find a connection to the famous spitting monkey. So, if nobody else wants to guess, I'll give it a couple more minutes. Not minutes, seconds. Not minutes. The number is 77. They do when they're Toki and were transformed by either a witch doctor or a genetic scientist, depending on which version you play. A scientist who dresses like a witch doctor, or actually a plague doctor. I don't ask questions. So I believe Hessian has won again with 69. It's almost uncanny. People also say to me, David, you insectine interloper, you keep giving away these games that are really pretty common. What we want is something obscure. Something that isn't on Steam or GOG or Green Man Gaming or easily piratable. And I say, well, I suppose I could part with Swarm Rampage, which is a RTS that was received rather well. But here's the thing. I don't play RTSs. Never have, never will. Okay, I did try Age of Empires for a while. And I I probably will have to play StarCraft because it's one of the best games ever eventually. But it doesn't mean I'll have to like it, or I won't get so frustrated I throw my mouse across the room. But yeah, anyway, number between 1 and 100, and go. Oh, sorry, Dame Karen, it's real-time strategy. So, you know, the games with a lot of tactics and resource management and big brain heavy thinking. So, stuff that I'm not necessarily good at. I mean, I'd just rather, you know, speed fast across the meadows and jump on top of robots to free the bunnies within, and then pull out a gun and shoot the evil Russian arms dealer in the face, and then maybe fly a plane into space where I shoot down bugs and stuff like that that's not strategic. And of course, we have a 69. We always have a 69. But hey, it's one more than 68. I mean, tell me I'm wrong. That's just math. I almost threw them. Oh, that's Toki Tori. Yeah, free the bunnies within the robots. Maybe that's a philosophy we all should live by. I'm not entirely clear on what it means or how we can apply it, but always free the bunnies. I mean, unless that's what you're going to eat for dinner. Or, like, they have some use. Like, if the bunnies are what's drawing your car, probably not a car, but say your sled, and you got a bunch of rabbits dragging your sled through the snow, they're probably snowshoe hares, then don't necessarily let them free until you're somewhere safe. Or you could buy a car. Ah, right, Australia. Rabbits. I've heard they're a bit of a problem in Australia. Here we still have the luxury of being like, oh, they're cute. And you only see them occasionally, outside of Bugs Bunny cartoons. Give people another 10 seconds to join the giveaway if they want to. I wonder if eventually we'll get to the point where pretty much every game is on Steam or one of the other services released legally. The thing is, sometimes games get removed. Like, for some reason I was looking up Bedlam, which is one of my favorite modern games, to see if it was still on, and it got taken down from Steam recently. Publisher's request. It was... Oh, they imported pests to go after pests. Gotcha. True, abandonware is free. And that's amazing that only licensed magicians can have pet rabbits. Yeah, not the one about the 3 robots from the 90s, but the first-person shooter with the Scotswoman who's a protagonist and who I totally have a crush on, even if she is the single ugliest protagonist in video game history. I still sometimes wander through my days. I know. It's so good. I'll sometimes still say to people, well, shite, if you can't trust a bunch of megalomaniacal pseudo-Nazi psychopaths, who the fuck can you trust? And generally, they don't have an answer. And alright, since no one else is guessing, we'll go ahead and reveal the answer. And the number of Swarm is... That's the wrong side. That's a cheetah or something, right? Yeah. 82. So, unless I'm very much mistaken, against overwhelming odds, Hessian wins with 69. I'm starting to think that RTSs aren't so popular amongst my viewers, which makes sense since they're not so popular with me. Totally rigged. Night of the Lepus, right. But right, it was MST3K people. After they didn't do MST3K. Night of the Lepus, I did see that. It wasn't great. It basically just seemed like a version of the Killer Shrews, but with significantly more blood and, I don't know, about the same level of plot. So, That's funny. Why they only pick the shittiest games to revisit in Bedlam, which, I don't know. One of the levels was very clearly based on Halo, and I may be making a bold statement here, but I think that Halo isn't necessarily a bad game. But maybe that's just because I have friends who had Xboxes and they, influenced me. So rigged. Yeah. Well, it's like my dad always said, you gots to plays to wins. But other than Halo, it was like Quake 2 and... Was it Medal of Honor was the World War II one based on? And I don't know all of them. Oh, playing through all the Halos, right. I've never really played. But once I get next time the Halo Master Chief collection goes on sale on Steam, I will buy it. And I don't know if I'll stream it though. I'd rather stream the Marathon trilogy, which is what the company made before Halo. Which is quite good if you like evil computers with a sense of humor. Yeah, they're all ported to Steam now, or maybe not all. They're gradually releasing them. The Halo Master Chef collection. I think I did make that mistake at some point, confusing. Call it Master Chief, Master Chef. But, okay, we've gone for more than 10 hours now, and I'm quite exhausted. I think it's time we look for a raid target. Oh, they've been doing it long term. That's funny. But I wanted to say thank you guys so much for coming to my affiliate celebration stream. Everyone who lurked or chatted or came for part of the stream when you came. Oh, thank you, Karen. And I really appreciate everybody who's supported me and followed and watched and helped me reach affiliate in the first place. And I'll continue to do streams of strange games. Some better than others, obviously. But, hey, I'll check. Oh, thank you, Havoc, and thank you, Hairball. Matt Glad is still on. Oh, thank you, Hessian. Let me see if there's anyone else on. I was thinking of raiding a friend of mine. Thanks, I'm happy to have you guys here too. No, she hasn't been streaming. I hope she's doing okay. Seraphine's is on. Oh, Fornado's on too. I don't know. I don't think I rated Matt Glad before. Who should I raid? Congo Rats. I like that. So much more, so funnier than congratulations. Well, I haven't rated Seraphine's in a while, and I know he's rated us a couple times and been really supportive, so maybe we should go ahead and raid him, and try and raid Matt Glad another time. I would like to. Yay, it works. It's always funny when you first start the raid, it says just 1 or 2 viewers and the number climbs. Yeah, just to wrap up, I thank you everybody. Surfins USA, right? I am a retro and variety streamer who does a lot of horror, and we will play more Ben Jordan games, which we played the first of today at some point. Oh, right. And then on Wednesday, I think I will try and start Assassin's Creed, which is more modern. And then we'll do Short Horror Saturday on Saturday. And next Sunday, I probably will play through The Haunting at Cliff House, which is more of a gothic ghost story mystery, and which I'd talked about playing recently. Yes, I am official. Oh, thank you so much, everybody. Please feel free to follow and here, and I'm also on Twitter and MySpace, and you can follow there too. Yeah, thanks to everybody, and I hope that you all have a good night, and please stick around and say hi to Seraphines.